Good morning, grade 5. I hope everybody's doing good and you're ready for today's lesson. So let's get started. So can everybody please open up the English textbooks on page 72 till 73. Today we'll be doing language practice. So as I go through the slides, you can just follow in your textbook. So let's get started. So the first block on the page in your textbook says connectors. So what is a connector? So we use connectors to connect ideas. The most common connector is for example or for instance. So other examples of connector words could be and, in addition, as well as, also, to, furthermore, apart from, in addition to, and besides. Right, so we know when we connect something, we're bringing two things together and it's connecting. So in a sentence, when we have a connector, it's connecting words together in a sentence. So when you read something, one of the most common connectors would be for example, right? So remember, when we have connectors, we are trying to connect ideas. So let's look at some examples of sentences. So the first sentence reads, my cup of tea is also hot. So you can see here I've underlined also and I've highlighted it because that is our connector word. The next sentence, the dogs are eating outside as well as the cats. Once again, my connector is underlined as well as. The car has a radio and also has airbags. Once again, I've used the connector also. So as you can see in these sentences, I'm connecting two ideas in a sentence, right? So in the first sentence, my cup of tea, so I have my cup of tea, is also hot. So I'm telling you I have a cup of tea, but I'm also telling you that it's hot, right? So I'm connecting those two ideas together. And then let's see, also the car has a radio. So I have a car with a radio, but my car also has airbags. So once again, I'm connecting those two ideas with the connector word also. So I hope you can understand how a connector works in a sentence. And if you go back to the previous slide, where there's other examples, you can see all the words. That are connectors, right? Also, on the top of each slide, I put copy slide. So wherever you see that, you need to copy that into your book, right? Okay, so on the next page, on page 73, we have the next block that says question form. So a question form, we write a question mark at the end of a question. So we know we always write a question mark at the end of a question. So a question usually starts with one of the question words. Who, where, when, what, why, whose, which, and how. So usually when we ask sentences, we always use those question words. And at the end of the question, we always use a question mark. Okay. So like in your textbook, there's a block with some examples. So for homework yesterday, you had to conduct a questionnaire and then do an interview. So here is just an example of a format of how a question form would look. So you have the interviewee. So that's the person that's being interviewed. You have your interviewer, which is your name, the date, and then we have two questions and then also a space for the answer, right? So that's just an example of how a question form could look. It has all the necessary information and it has our questions and our answers, right? Okay, the next block, reported speech. So this is used to report what someone said. We do not use the speaker's exact words because that is direct speech. So let's look at the examples first. So firstly, we have direct speech. Did you do your homework? Right? And then reported speech says, the teacher asked if you had completed your homework. So you can see the difference between these two speeches, because direct speech, it has quotation marks, it's asking a question, and most importantly, it has a question mark after the question's being asked. So that's direct speech. That is a question that someone is asking directly. So those words are coming out of their mouth directly, right? But reported speech is when you are reporting what someone else has said. So you can see the difference between these two speeches. And remember, we always report what someone said. That's reported speech. Okay. Once again, we have another block with examples. So I gave you the first example. Let's read through the second one. Direct speech. This is from a sales lady. Are you looking for another size? And then reported speech. The sales lady asked if I was looking for another size. So once again, you can see the difference where the direct speech has quotation marks, it has a question mark, and it's directly coming from the person. Whereas reported speech is reporting what someone else has said or asked. Okay, so for homework, I would like you to please write the heading, date, and page number and draw a line. So you will need to complete the questions 1 to 3 on page 72. Those you can find under the connector block. And then you need to complete questions 1 to 3 on page 73, and that you will find under reported speech. So I forgot to put in the homework block that you need to copy down the slides and the definitions and the examples. So please, before you complete the questions, write down and copy my slides about the definitions of a connector, question form, and reported speech, as well as the examples for those. So please don't forget, first write down your definitions and examples and then complete the questions. Right, so I hope everybody enjoyed the lesson and you learned something new, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.